This man has been spending his money again, and it's quickly becoming the favourite club in his golf bag for shots just like that. But what club has he gone for? What has it replaced? And should you be looking at this part of the bag? Look how happy he is, but he's lost his tee.
No, I haven't found it. It went backwards.
Oh dear, means a good shot that, supposedly.
It does it though.
So guys, obviously this year it is important to get the top end of your bag correct. How many times I see people not have clubs at the top end after the driver that really help them improve their scores and lower the handicap is unbelievable. And Dave's really worked on that last year. He did get a new second-hand 5-wood, but he's now invested in something new. But this fairway wood is a Tacoma fairway wood, so the Ignis range that has recently come out, I haven't actually tested them on the channel, but Dave has bought one. And interestingly enough, we know Dave is a Yorkshireman, and they are around about between £100 to £150 cheaper than your premium brands. So obviously, are we going to get the same performance? That is the big question. But straight away there for Dave, a great flight off the tee. He's using it into the green now, and we're starting to get a lot of consistency from it because we've seen some good shots that I'll put on screen now over the last couple of weeks, and he's really enjoying it. Again guys, what fairway woods are you looking at this year? Have you bought anything new? Comment below. And has anyone got the Tacoma Ignis fairway woods? So a fairway found there, and Dave's somebody who's obviously struggled with his driver, and we're going to obviously, he has got a new driver in there.
I can't quite work it out because I can hit me hybrids and a lofted wood reasonably well, but driver, not a clue.
But we're going to be delving into that, guys, on the channel. We're going to have a lot of sessions with Dave's driver and trying to get that corrected, ready for the season. Obviously, we're in the middle of February now. We've got a month and a half to get, obviously, Dave dialed in with that driver. But this Tacoma 5-wood certainly ticking a lot of boxes for him. We'll talk tech in a second. Again, low launching. We've played a nice little draw off the tee and a low fade there, Dave.
Well, you know, I can make them talk.
Again, Dave, strike-wise on that?
A bit bottom, if I'm honest. It wasn't the fault of the club, though, as usual.
No, but it'd be interesting to see there. Obviously, you've said that you've got a lot of forgiveness from it, from off-centred strikes, and we know, obviously, like everybody, we have off-centred strikes, but still feels solid.
Yeah, like you just said, Chris. You know, it wasn't the best of strikes, but I've got away with it. I don't think it'll be far off the green, so can't complain, really.
We can't. I was just saying there, forgiveness-wise, that has crept on the front edge there, so certainly a shot you would take, Dave.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the best strike again, but it's gone with the roll. It's gone just about the distance that you'd expect anyway.
Yeah, and this is where obviously it's a good club for Dave, because the 3-wood was similar to his driver. He didn't get the launch, but a 5-wood, we're getting the launch, we're getting the carry, and in the summer we're certainly reaping the rewards. And we saw obviously late in last season it was going probably as far as your driver, Dave.
Yeah, which is slightly worrying, but we are where we are, I'm afraid.
Room for improvement with the driver, but this could be a relatively straightforward 4 for Dave, and he would get a shot on here, and he's not had to hit his new PXG driver. So guys, think about it this season. What clubs have you got at the top end of the bag? Are you a traditionalist? Do you go driver, 3-wood, 5-wood? Do you use your 3-wood? Do you use your 5-wood? Could you maybe mix that up? There's obviously 4-woods available now. 7-wood is a fantastic club for anybody who struggles with a 3-iron or a hybrid.
You love a 7-wood,
I do love a good 7-wood. So Dave might test the 7-wood. We do have one of these 7-woods. Is that going to be better than his 3 hybrid? That's what you have to decide. Everybody's different. You might like driving irons, you might like utilities, you might like hybrids. Pick what's best for you. But this end of the bag is very important for the mid-handicap golfer, because this is where I see a lot of people lose shots. And Dave certainly has over the years, having maybe a 3-wood in the bag, not really using it, and it's just there.
Yeah, it was nice to carry.
Collecting dust with a head cover on it. Pretty good roll there, Dave. Didn't need much more.
No, it was uphill. I was a bit worried about it.
Worried? Dave's worried. I didn't know we had a card in our hand today, Dave. He's on the edge. Right, sports fans, this for a par. With a 5-wood off the tee and a 5-wood in. Rammed it in.
Rammed it in.
Dave. Right, let's get it on the next tee box. Okay, so we've got the 5 wood out again, and what Dave likes about this, obviously we do have that adjustability, so we can obviously change on the hosel, we can make it a little bit more upright, we can change the loft on there. We've also got the adjustable weights on there as well, so we can obviously start to affect obviously what kind of ball flight you are going to have. You can tailor obviously each fairway wood to achieve the ball flight you need to send bombs, fill yard gaps, or nail targets. That's exactly what Tacoma say with that. So very interesting, Dave. You've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, I've got the 20 gram weight in the back of this.
Yep.
I think if daft as it sounds, I think if I put the 25 in, it'd go too high.
Potentially, yeah. You look at the last tee shot we hit on there. Obviously, you are going to use this club off the tees, and this is when you're buying a fairway wood, guys. Think, are you using it just off fairways, or are you using a lot of fairway woods off the tees? Are you like Dave, you're struggling with the driver, so it is a club that you use a lot, but we also know that it is a club that produces fantastic ball flights like that, both off the tee and in the fairway. Good shot, Dave.
Thank you.
Again, like we mentioned there, obviously premium components as well as what you expect from Tacoma. So Dave had the irons because they came with KBS shafts, they came with Lamkin grips, they were a forged head. Again, Dave's gone with the hollow-bodied 101 tees. But the same with the fairway woods. We've got Hazadus shafts in there, so a premium shaft that has come in. Some of the, again, bigger brands, your Callaways, again, TaylorMade have used those shafts in the recent years. But also we've got a carbon crown on there. So interesting enough, the technology is the same, but obviously the price is cheaper because it's a direct to consumer. So we've got all the components for it to be premium, but obviously at an affordable price. Is that something that you are looking for? It's very interesting here because I know sometimes you want to go and test them. Can you test these clubs? No, you can't, unfortunately, but would that put you off buying them? Again, we do push fittings a lot, so that's where you think, right, is there a medium? Could you get fitted for something else and maybe think, right, well, I'll get the Tacoma because obviously the fitting fee was only X amount. I know what shaft I need, I know what setup I need, and then go and buy this. That's what you've got to think. Again, there's a lot of direct-to-consumer brands coming out now. We've got Cali, we've got Tora in the US or in Canada, I do have to say, I do apologise. And then also Tacoma, and there'll be more to come because I think that's the way that golf is going, to get more of you enjoying it at a more affordable cost. Dave's just saying there, that is a much better shot than what I hit the driver last week. Again, middle stripe as well, Dave.
I know.
I think the driver was back here near 150, so this is where obviously a little bit of ego, if you've got confidence with the 5 wood and it's going further, then why not use it?
Be interested to know how far.
I know what Dave's going to do here, because he's a mid-handicap golfer. He's going to get to his ball, he's going to get his millisy out and see how far that's
Mile
gone.
C.
Mile C. But interesting enough, guys, it's going to be an interesting test because obviously it's wet out here. Dave's hit that well. It won't have got much run. How far has it gone? Come on, Dave. Let's see.
You knew I was going to, didn't you, Chris?
Let's have a guess. I'm going to say 228 yards.
Really? If it is, I'll be very impressed. I think it's about 190.
Okay, let's see. Let's see how far it is, Dave.
200.
200, so nearly bang in the middle of us. So 200 there, obviously in wet conditions, that's done fantastically well, Dave. Just thinking of summer, that would be probably 220, 230, which is really what you're seeing from your driver at the minute.
I know, and that's the worrying thing.
Well,
I could end up with half a bag in the summer.
so Dave's done the most important thing. He's used his rangefinder to see how far he's hit it, but he's forgot to see how far the flag is.
Oh, we're overexcitement, Chris.
It was, wasn't it, Dave?
122.
122. Comment below, guys, obviously how much did you spend on your last fairway wood, and do you think obviously the game rather expensive? I've seen some of the TaylorMades, the QI10 is £379 Dave saw online, so obviously not cheap at all. How much did you pay for your last fairway wood, and would you look at something like this Tacoma, or would you stick to your Callaways, Tightly, Strixons, TaylorMade, PXGs instead? Nicely, just left of the flag, coming back around. That should work nicely, Dave.
Yeah, it was the rock. I've only got a 7 and a 9, and it was too far for a 9, so I took a 7 and just tried to tap it.
Just tap it. Look at it, Dave.
Feathering it.
Feathering it round. Pin high there. Dave's playing all the shots for us today. High bombs with a 5 wood. and then feathering it in with a 7-wood. So,
No, 7 iron.
sorry, I do
Come on.
apologise. I'm just thinking about a 7-wood, Dave.
I know you get excited about them.
Right, tricky one here. So he's on a different level here. So it'll be all down to putting, as it seems like it always is.
Not easier puts in my life.
Yeah, so it's going to move a little bit to the right off the start, but then stay pretty straight. So you can see how Dave looks tall because I am on the level below.
You just can't stop yourself, can you?
Well, I'm just saying that. I'm just showing that I'm on a different level. Right, as Dave
Different
got
level, you'd say in so many things.
the reed. He has got the reed. Pretty good there, Dave.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't know how much that is going to take. Rolled pretty well. Can we get out with 2 pars? And we know they're off winter tees here, guys. Obviously, in the summer, we're going to get that extra run. So it's showing how they can still work, especially if you've got the confidence to hit them well. Solid. Okay, so 17th hole here at Woolley Park. You can see by the flyover is a long par 4. We are down just at the start of the fairway on a winter mat here, but we're into the wind. This hole normally plays into the wind. Dave's just mentioned there's quite a few shots at Garforth that normally play into the wind, Dave, and this is what scares you about using the 5-wood.
It does. So I'm hitting it fairly well, but the flight that I'm getting off the tee is quite high. Sorry, there's a heron coming over. I'll just having a look at that.
Nature watch with Dave. He'd be good on the allotment, Dave.
But I've been hitting it quite high off the tee. So would you just take it off the mat, or would you still go with the tee because I'm getting a higher flight, so
again,
it's going
still
further?
tee it up, you're getting the strike. Again, on the last hole, we'll put that tee shot back on there just for the fans, but you can see a nice penetrating ball flight. So yes, it was downwind, but it launched pretty mid-flighted, so it's all down to obviously how you return the club, but don't try and keep it low, Dave. Just play your normal swing. If we get a good strike, we should get it through the wind. And again, we're not trying to swing any harder, as most golfers will do. Here, we just want to swing within ourselves. If we get a strike, the wind won't affect the ball as much. Just like that.
You're not wrong, Chris.
A fantastic draw that leaves you probably a mid-iron into the green,
I
Dave.
aimed down the right because of that pond on the left.
Yep, and it's in the fairway, Dave. Another fairway hit. That's 3 for 3. I don't think we'd have had 3 for 3 with the driver.
We'd probably wouldn't have had 1 for 3, Chris.
Right, Dave, so you've just got the old new head cover off. What have we gone with?
7 iron, mate.
7 iron. So you can see here, even obviously in these conditions, Dave's got a mid-iron in the summer. He will get a little bit more run. Obviously, we'll be further back on the tee box, but it's still giving him a chance. And again, the ball flights with the 5-wood so far have been worth the £220
They certainly
this
have.
club is. And that is a fantastic shot, Dave. A bullet 7 iron, just under the flag, I believe.
Nice.
Mr. Tacoma right here. What a fantastic shot. Just fairways and greens, it seems, with using this Tacoma 5-wood. Hopefully it happens in the season, Dave.
It'd be nice, Chris, it'd be nice. But I'd still like to get the driver going at some point in my life.
Well, that's what we're going to do on that next tee.
I ain't a clue what this does, Chris.
Well, that's always confident. So it's going to go a little bit to your right, so up the hill, moving to the right, probably 2 foot outside the left, Dave. I'll help you since you can't be bothered to go and read it. Look at those shoes, filthy.
I know. Mrs. Harrison only cleaned them yesterday.
That's a great putt.
Well,
up
after
there.
all that, Chris, it was a decent read you gave me.
Yeah, it's a shame you pushed it slightly, otherwise it'd have been in.
I thought you were all right.
No, that's a
Wasn't
great
that bad.
putt from there.
From
30
there.
feet uphill. This to get out with just another steady par, Dave. 3 pars in a row, not the sign of the driver.
Is a 5-wood off the tee the future for a mid-handicap golfer?
It could be.
But
But we know you'll get a card in your hand and you'll hit driver, Dave.
yeah, and that's just
And Scottish Paul will encourage you.
what. Yeah, probably would. You Do you know, it's really annoying because he does hit the driver quite well. The rest of his game's shocking, but...
And that is a par, guys. So Dave, happy with your investment? £220, is it £220 of a Yorkshireman's money well spent?
Well, I think so. You know, if he stood on a tee, if I can get the driver working, if I'm stood on a tee and I'm a bit nervous, then that could be the go-to club, couldn't it?
It could. So guys, obviously going into this year, please do look at the top end of your bag. Make sure you've got clubs that you are going to use. This 5-wood will be a club that Dave uses a lot. If you've got a 3-wood and you're not using it, maybe look at going for a fitting. Again, selling your 3-wood and then looking at buying a new 5-wood could work out for you. It could be something that you use a lot. It could be something that helps you lower your scores. And we'll see you again later in the week.